Well, good afternoon. I'm Martin Tyner with the Southwest Wildlife Foundation and my beautiful wife Susan here. And we're just doing a little live podcast. And I'd like to introduce Casey. He does the music for our videos. Hey, Casey, you there?
I am. How are you?
Oh, I am just fine, sir. It's a real pleasure to get to visit with you a little bit. There you are. I can see you now.
You as well. Hello.
And we also have my son Glenn, who lives in Wyoming, and his family has joined us as well. Hey, Glenn, you there?
He's sort of there.
He's sort of there.
Can
He's still kind of working on it a little bit.
Looks like he's muted again.
can you hear
Yeah.
us, Glenn?
Well, can
Well,
we? We can
let's
see
go
the
on back and
grandson.
yeah, we have our new little grandson Sebastian, and that Glenn is holding. Anyway, the whole point of this is we just wanted to ask all of our friends, our YouTube friends, to come and join us. It is December 9th, which is my 65th birthday, and so we just thought we'd
Happy
spend
birthday.
a little time with all of our friends and thank everybody for their kindness and generosity. I also have my three wildlife ambassadors just right over here in their boxes close by, so we're going to bring them out as we talk as well. And we'd like to talk about Casey's and his nonprofit project that he's working on as well.
And we did
So
get a comment about Casey from Feather Baby Mom who says,
I know,
"Wow,
Feather Baby.
Casey is cute."
Says, wow, Casey's
Oh
cute.
boy.
yeah, yeah,
I have a wife and a
not
few kids.
a wife and a few kids. So not only talented but good looking as well. You know, two things I don't have. So there we go. But well, that's pretty wonderful, and we're here to answer your questions. Susan, why don't you kind of read some of these comments and questions for us, and we'll get this started.
Okay. Um, there is, do you want questions or did you want, here's an email. Let me read that. Um, we just received a gift certificate from Rodent Pro, and she wasn't sure how soon we got it, but we got it right away. Just a little something to thank everyone, thank us for everything that we do to help critters. I found your channel by accident, but I'm so glad I found it because I really like what you do, and I especially like how much Martin cares for these beautiful animals. My husband and I will be watching. My name is Lizeth, and my husband's name is James. Please accept this gift certificate from us and our three cats, Miko, Luna, and Bombita. So they will be watching too.
Well, thank you, Liz
And James.
and James,
And your kitties.
and your kitties as well. That's very kind of you. And Rodent Pro is the company that we purchased frozen rats, mice, and quail to feed the injured wildlife that we care for. So we're always grateful to get a donation of food. So thank you so very, very much.
And we got a donation from Ashley, and her message is, "Happy birthday, Martin. We love you. Thank you for all that you do."
Well, thank you, Ashley. That is so kind. We appreciate you so very much.
Thank you.
Won't you?
And Connie Merchant, she sent us a Rodent Pro gift certificate as well. Thank you, Connie.
Okay. You got some questions for me, Sue?
Oh, do you want to do questions? Okay. Martin, you were a nominee for the Indianapolis Prize on Animal Conservation. Just wondered if you received that honor. And this is a question from Lynn Northrup.
Okay, Lynn. The Indianapolis Prize is one of the most prestigious conservation prizes in the world. People are acquainted to the Nobel Prize of Wildlife Conservation, and to be really honest with you, was even surprised to be nominated, let alone become a semifinalist. It was a great honor to be thought of in the ranks of such amazing people as that. No, I did not win. Didn't expect to. Some dumb old rehabber in southern Utah. I mean, we're talking literally world-class projects, and so I have great love and respect for the people who did that. Here's the great news: if I would have won, I would have had to have gone to St. Louis, Missouri, for their black tie gala, I would have had to buy a tuxedo, and that would have been a sheer disaster. And so I'm very honored and very grateful that I was nominated. It's a lot more comfortable that I didn't win. So thank you for the question.
She has another question. How is the white-bellied eagle doing? Any chance he will be released in 2021?
You know, the white-bellied eagle is healthy, eating like a horse, and it really is a matter if he grows enough feathers back to where he can fly and be released. And you know, it literally takes them about 5 years to completely regrow a full set of feathers. Though when they fall out, then they will molt back within a month or two, and his has not. And so he may be a very long-term resident. The great news is that you know, we are hoping to break ground for a 50 by 100 foot eagle flight chamber this spring. We've got the money raised for it, and so he might be our very first patient to use the eagle flight chamber to build up his strength to be returned back to the wild. So we're looking forward to that. But other than that, he is fat and healthy and just eating us out of house and home, which is a good thing.
And we got another donation. This from Grandma Chell, 23, and she says that you are amazing.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for the donation. We really appreciate it. That really helps us with the critters.
And can we give a shot? Can we try to come back in with Glenn here, I think? Have we got your sound working, Glenn?
I
Hey,
believe
Glenn,
so.
oh, there
Can
you
hear me
are.
now?
Yes, Glenn, we can hear you now. That's wonderful. For everybody, this is my son. This is Glenn Tyner. We are incredibly proud of him. He is a deputy in the sheriff's department up in Wyoming. And Skylar, our grandson.
Hi, Sky.
We love Skylar to death. And our newest grandson is Sebastian in Glenn's arms. And this is our newest little baby. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to go up and see him. But we're really hoping that things will settle down and we get to go up and let Susan hold our new grandbaby.
Yeah, where's Stevie?
Yeah, where's Stevie?
There he is.
There's Stevie.
Hey, Stevie.
And so this is our beautiful little family up in Wyoming. We
Jenny
love.
gonna join us?
I don't know, Jenny, you gonna join us? I saw her hand Stevie in. There's Jenny.
Hi,
Hey,
Jenny.
sweetheart, how you doing, Jenny?
Good, how are you?
We're just fine. And so this is a rare opportunity for you folks. If you have any questions, you know, obviously my son has lived through his father, and so I'm sure he has stories to tell. So if you have any questions for Glenn, Skylar's, or Jenny, you're certainly welcome to ask. So what else you got for us, Sue?
Okay, here we just want to say, Sam the man, thank you. The motion sensor safety lights have arrived. Haven't had a chance to open them, but I know the package arrived, so thank you much.
Yes, absolutely.
And
We've got a
another
hello,
question
Glenn, from Michelle H.
Christy Garrison.
Michelle H. just said hello to Glenn. Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, here's my question. I read years ago that when someone is around wild birds, you mustn't swallow, as they do so right before they eat. Ergo they think you'll want to eat them. Is this true?
No, that is not true. You know, if you swallow, that's not a sign to them at all. Birds are extremely intelligent. They're very, very sensitive. But it's more body language that they pick on, not whether or not you swallow. So no, that's an old wives' tale. That's not true.
And we've got a
Another
question.
Could you please?
A question for Glenn. Wyoming must be nice.
Actually, it's beautiful right now. Normally this time of year, it's full of snow and really cold, but it's actually beautiful right now.
Okay. Go ahead, Sue.
Christy also asks if there are any behavioral do's and don'ts when you're around wild birds. Avian etiquette.
The do's and don'ts around wild birds. Okay, here's the thing. Um, like all wildlife, they pick up on body language, and so if you are fidgety, if you're kind of a nervous personality, that makes that makes the birds very, very nervous. And so if you have a calm a demeanor and disposition, I can see a wild hawk sitting on a fence post, 50 yards from me, and I can walk relatively close to them for the simple fact that they don't see me approaching them as a threat. And so people that are a little more nervous and fidgety, it does make all animals a little more nervous and fidgety as well. So you just want to, anytime you're with wild animals, you just want to try to be very, very calm and try not to, like, I never walk directly up to a wild animal because that's a sign of threat. What I will do is I will kind of walk kind of catty-cornered if I need to get closer to them, so that they don't see me as a dominant approaching over them. And so you can get a lot closer to wildlife if you look like you're not actually heading toward them. I don't know if that helps any or not.
We've got a donation from Ultraman and says HBD.
What does HDB stand for?
I would think happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. That makes sense. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I made it to 65. So, that's with my lifestyle, I didn't know I was going to get this far.
And we got another one from Sabrina. Happy birthday, Martin. I really look up to you and everyone that takes care of animals. You're my idol.
Oh, well, that's very, very kind of you. I appreciate that. I'm just a dumb critter guy. It's just, it's just been my life's work to care for the critters. Something else, Sue?
Yeah, Christy, Sean, and their greyhounds just wanted to say have a super festive day. They appreciate you so much and are big fans.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh.
And Feather Baby Mom has a comment. She says, hello, baby Sebastian. Welcome to the world. Martin, please thank your wonderful son for his service.
Well, I think he can hear you, and yeah, we are so grateful. Not only is he really a wonderful deputy in the sheriff's department up there in Wyoming, but he also served in the National Guard with a tour of duty in Iraq, and so we're grateful that he's home with us and safe. But yeah, we're very, very proud of my son and his whole family.
And thank you very much. I appreciate all the well wishes from everybody.
So, well, shall I bring out our first wildlife ambassador? Would everybody like to?
Casey, you want
to? Casey, do you want to do a song for us while I get the bird, or what would you like to do?
Completely up to you guys, however you want to do it.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do your first song, and I'll grab my Falcon, and we'll mute our side so we don't talk over you, and I'm going to hand this to Susan because she wants to hear you really bad.
Sounds good.
Yes.
All right, you're up, Casey.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate everyone at the Southwest Utah Wildlife Foundation having me on and having my music be part of these great videos. And music for me is an important part of my life, and this first song is called Sticks and Stones, but the sticks is STX. My daughter has a rare genetic condition on her STX BP1 gene that causes seizures and other developmental delays. So I wrote a song about it, and it's called Sticks and Stones. That's what this one is. Well, get ready for a fight. Weapons check. We're locked and loaded. We move out tonight. Go back from where you came. You are not welcome and be warned. We're ready to take aim. Yeah, we're ready to take aim and fire away these sticks and stones. They are breaking more than bones, and our hearts don't have the time to mend, and words don't have the strength to lend. And you will never hurt them. Well, these hills you will not take, and our beaches, don't try to storm them. It's your move to make. Yeah, it's yours to make, and fire away at these sticks and stones. They are breaking more than bones, and our hearts don't have the time to mend, and words don't have the strength to lend. But you will never hurt them. But don't be alarmed. It's just time's way of holding on to you. So let me go. I am not alarmed. It's just my way of holding on to you, and I won't let go. No, I won't let go. So take away these sticks and stones. They are breaking more than bones, and our hearts don't have the time to mend, and words don't have the strength to lend. So take cover, and fire away these sticks and stones. They won't break any more bones, and our hearts will have the time to mend, and words will have the strength to lend. And you will never hurt them. No, you'll never hurt her. No, you'll never hurt him. No, you'll never hurt them. With your sticks and stones.
That is awesome, Casey.
Thank you.
Tell us about your charity.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, my daughter has a rare genetic condition, so a few years back we started a nonprofit called Clara Inspired, and our goal is to inspire other people to take positive action in their lives, and in doing so raise awareness and funds for genetic disease research. So we do fundraisers every so often, and last year in 2019 I ran the Leadville 100-mile trail run out in Leadville, Colorado, and I ran it in 29 and a half hours. And we're able to raise a bunch of money for our nonprofit through that. And this past year, since we were all kind of in lockdown, I was able to do an 8-hour live stream and play 100 songs in 8 hours to raise money this year. So each year we try to find something to do to inspire people and raise awareness. So
That's awesome. I'm going to put you back on.
Be back on?
You missed all of that stuff.
I know, I
Okay,
missed the
but
good stuff.
Yeah, you missed his song and that information.
Hey, Casey.
How are you?
I'm just fine. Unfortunately, only one of us can hear you at a time. So, but Susan really wanted to hear you sing. She loves your music, very, very much.
Oh, good.
And
Thank
we
you so
are so
much.
grateful that you have, you have spent so much time. You volunteered for us, and you've helped us put musical scores to our videos. It really has meant the world to me. And I don't think you've seen her. This is Helen.
I have not.
Yeah,
Sorry,
this is
said
Helen. She's a Peregrine Falcon, and she was born mostly blind. So she cannot fly because she can't see well enough to fly. We named her after Helen Keller. Helen Keller was blind and deaf, but was an amazing ambassador for the disabled. And so this is my Helen, and she's an amazing ambassador for wildlife. So she travels with me, and we do, school programs and scout programs and community events with her to raise awareness about the animals that we care for. Anything else you want to talk about? I was kind of hoping to see your family, but I guess they're.
Yeah, they're eating dinner and getting baths and things like that. So
Sure.
I'm not sure if they'll be able to make an appearance, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoy being part of your channel and happy to contribute to some of the great videos.
And we have a question for Casey. Do you have a CD?
So I do have Spotify and iTunes and Amazon Music. So if you go to www.casey.live, you'll see a few of the links in there to the Spotify page, to a few of the different places where you can buy music anywhere digitally. I think that's kind of the way everything is going. So I have not pressed any CDs, but it's all available digitally.
And a comment from Jane Miller, who says, "Hello, beautiful Helen."
Yeah, she's a pretty young lady, and we're very, very grateful to have her. This is an Untitled Peregrine, which is the endangered species that you've heard so much about. And so not only is she very pretty, but she, like I said, she does represent human tragedy and human success. What caused this beautiful animal to go nearly extinct, to become an endangered species, was the misuse of pesticides called DDT. And DDT, they sprayed it on the plants, the bugs eat it, the sparrows and things eat the bugs, and the falcons eat the sparrows, and those kinds of things. It just kind of goes up the food chain, and it caused them to not be able to lay eggs sufficiently thick, and so the eggs couldn't hatch, and the peregrine falcon, this particular kind, almost went extinct. Well, people like myself, falconers who had peregrine falcons, we all brought our falcons together. We curated a breeding project called the Peregrine Fund. Since the early 70s, we have raised thousands and thousands of peregrines and returned them back to the wild. And now this beautiful bird, these guys are now off the endangered species list. And so this is what we can do when we all kind of come together and work for a common good. We can save these beautiful animals. We, right here in southern Utah where I live, I've got, within 100 miles, I've got at least 50 pairs of peregrines in the area. So they're wonderful to be able to see them in the wild where they belong.
And we have a question from Charlie. He asks, "Martin, do you know what school background it takes to become a falconer?"
Well, actually, it's not a school background as it is an apprenticeship. And something I'm just starting to put together that we're going to start posting here soon is I'm doing several very, very short videos on the process. Not how to train these animals, but the process that it takes to become a falconer. And so if you do tune into our videos, hopefully in the near future we will start posting them. I've got the first 5 of them I have done, and I've got several more to go. But the process is in a nutshell. Read everything you can about falconry. Check out books. and those kinds of things. There's a written test that you must pass, so you need to study the falconry rules and regulations in your state or your country so that you can do it legally. Then you must, after you have passed the test, then you have all of your equipment inspected to make sure that you have all that you need to care for the bird properly. And then you must apprentice, at least here in the United States, you have to apprentice for at least 2 years under a general class or master class falconer. So it's an extremely complex process. It truly is a very ancient art form, and this is not something to take lightly. But I've been doing it for over 50 years, and I get to have these amazing relationships with some of these beautiful animals. So that's kind of how it goes.
TS asks, can she see a little bit?
Can she see a little bit? She can. She basically can see. She's very, very nearsighted. She can only see less than 6 feet ahead of her. And so obviously she can't fly because she'd run into stuff. Flying in a dive at 200 miles an hour or straight and level at about 75 miles an hour, she'd run into stuff. So she can't be allowed to fly free. But she can see well enough that I can put food on her perch, 3 feet away from her, and she can see it and walk over and eat it. Or she can see food on my glove and she can reach down and take food off my hand. And so she's very manageable as far as taking care of her, but certainly could never be put back in the wild.
And we have a comment from Lori who says, beautiful birds of prey on my path every day. I'm a veterinary technician by trade and have treated red-tailed hawks, golden eagles, and several owl species.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we just released a screech owl back to the wild this morning, and I've got 2 more wildlife ambassadors we'd like to introduce you to. One is a Harris hawk, and one is my golden eagle. And so stay with us, and we'll see some more fun critters.
Emily asks, what is your favorite bird of prey species?
Wow, that's a loaded question. My favorite bird of prey species. The falcons, the large falcons like this Peregrine, you fly a falcon for the art of falconry. These birds will go 1,000, 2,000 feet in the sky, dive vertically at 200 miles an hour. And so it's very, very spectacular to watch them fly. My hawk is the most efficient hunter. She flies right off my glove, and she has a much, much higher success ratio. And she's just big, and she's brutal, and she's powerful, and she's just a joy to fly and to work with. My golden eagle is magnificent. Again, his size, his intelligence. There's not a smarter bird in the world than my golden eagle. And the personality, and he can be with me. He's very, very affectionate, and he likes to tease me. And so I like different birds for different reasons. And so I don't basically say this is my favorite because they all have their own skills and benefits that makes them unique and wonderful.
Bill Kerr comments, how cool is it to say, my golden eagle?
It's very cool. I'm one of very few people, certainly in North America, but in the world, that can honestly say one of my dearest friends is a wild golden eagle. And that has been a tremendous honor in my life, to call him a friend and to be able to work with him every day.
So before Scout comes out and Susan has to hide, maybe we can ask about those matching shirts you're wearing?
Well, absolutely. We have, Susan can kind of show you a little better than I can. That is my golden eagle. That's Scout's footprint going down the shirt. And this is our website, gowildlife.org. It's on the shirt.
Looks like it's upside down.
Yeah, and but turn around. This is a silhouette of my golden eagle, a collage of different birds of prey that we've rescued and worked with, and then we have a little emblem on the front as well.
Yep, both have them.
We both have those.
Oh.
There you go. And so this is just a little shirt that we have. Did you know the details about how people can get them?
Yep, it's up on the screen.
It's up on the screen. Okay, wonderful. And so if you would like one of these shirts, you can certainly order them. And you know, I usually wear khakis, so I'm not usually wearing green, but for this occasion, I thought we would go ahead and wear the green. Well, let me go ahead and bring out Belle. Hey, Glenn, how you doing, bud?
Okay. We've got a comment for Glenn here. Sam the man. Glenn Tyner, thanks for your service both in the military and as a deputy sheriff.
You're very welcome, and you know, it's definitely not something everybody can do, but it's something I enjoy doing. I
Here's somebody else.
like trying to, take care of people, make sure everybody's, staying safe.
Oh, we got Susan at the controls now.
Uh-oh, danger.
Who's-
Sorry, I haven't been able to hear anything Glenn or his family has said.
We've got a question here from Birdie Mom Carol. I'm admiring that painting behind you. What's the story on it? It's beautiful.
Okay. Martin, you want to tell them about the painting behind you?
Oh,
You want to know
sure.
the story on that? It's beautiful.
Okay, the painting that's behind us, that is actually my golden eagle. His name was Bud. It wasn't the eagle that I have now. It was Bud. Bud was my first eagle that was mine, not the first one I've worked with, because I've worked with rescued hundreds and hundreds of them over the years. But Bud and I was the first person in North America licensed to trap and train a wild eagle in falconry. A farmer thought Bud was a threat to his wildlife or to his livestock, and I was asked to go trapping. And Scout was the same way. He was considered a threat to livestock, and I went and trapped Scout. The sad thing is that Bud was bitten by a mosquito, about 17, 18 years ago, and died of West Nile virus. And so we lost Bud.
Tell them who that painter is.
Now the
Artist.
the painting and the artist behind me, Steve Allred, and he is a fairly well-known landscape primarily artist here in southern Utah. He's also a clinical psychologist. He was one of my falconry students, and we had a fundraiser to raise money for our nature park up the canyon from us. And so Steve brought several of his pieces of artwork, and kind of unbeknownst to me until he arrived, that he had painted this picture of Bud and myself. The picture is called The Understanding, because my eagle and I are kind of nose to nose, and he's it's a wonderful, beautiful picture. A gentleman from Las Vegas came to the fundraiser here in southern Utah, and he purchased the painting, made an amazing donation and purchased the painting. And then after he purchased the painting, he walked over and handed the painting to me and says, "This belongs to you." And so that's how we got the painting of, there's Belle, of Bud and I together. And so Bud has been an intimate part of the Wildlife Foundation. Bud is the reason that we got the Cedar Canyon Nature Park property donated to us. And in my book, we have stories about both Bud and Scout and how they came into our lives. And so it's been a blessing to work with them. And of course this is Belle. This is our little Belle. She's a sweetheart. She's such a good girl. Now, she came out of a breeding project in Louisiana. And so she's captive raised. She's not from the wild, just like the Peregrine's not from the wild. So sweet young ladies that are found in the deep south are oftentimes called Southern Belles. And so this is my sweet little Southern Belle. And she is a dear friend, and she loves to go out and chase jackrabbits. And when she catches a jackrabbit, she gets her share, but then we butcher out the rabbit as food for the injured eagles and wildlife that we care for. So she kind of helps us provide food for the injured wildlife.
And we got a donation from Annie. She says, "Happy birthday. God bless you and your entire family."
Oh, thank you, Annie. That is so kind and generous. We really, really appreciate it.
Okay, a comment from Laura says, "Thank you for sharing all the amazing work you do, and many blessings to you and the foundation."
Well, thank you. We can use all the blessings we can get.
And we got another donation here from Amanda, a common or popular name around here. "Happy birthday, Martin. Hello, handsome scout. Thanks for deciding to do this live stream. Happy holidays to you, Susan, your family, Casey, and of course, WebGeek. Thanks to everything you do for the foundation."
Well, thank you, and we, like I said, you guys are as much family to us. You guys have been so supportive over the last few years, helping our Wildlife Foundation continue to grow, and we greatly appreciate it. We really do.
And I guess I've got to throw out the question that seems so common and talk about Belle's bells.
Talk about Belle's bells. Okay, let's bring her up a little bit where you can see her bells. Right there. They're on her legs. Now, here's the thing with these birds is they do fly great distances, and as they're flying great distances chasing rabbits, I have to go and be able to catch up with her. She could be 300, 400, 500 yards away in very, very heavy brush, and so I walk in the direction that she has flown, and I listen for the bells, because if you catch a rabbit, that bell will ring. Or if she's eating the rabbit, the bell will ring. And so that helps kind of key me into her exact location. In fact, I think we have a short video of Belle crawling out of a rabbit hole. She actually chased a rabbit all the way down its hole, and I was worried that I was going to have to go back and get a shovel and dig her out. You want to show that, DG?
Absolutely.
It's not too hard to
Hey,
find.
Belle. You down here in this hole? I can't see you. I hear you, Belle. Hi, sweetie. Did you get the rabbit? I hear you moving around down there. Okay. Hi, babe. Oh, here you come. Hi, Belle. Come on. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, Belle. Come on out. Come on, sweetie. Come on, babe. Come on out. Hey, you. Come here.
And as you can see, without those bells, it would be very, very difficult to find her from time to time when she decides to, like I said, under a bush or down a rabbit hole or those kinds of things. So that helps us find her.
And we're getting some questions about the shirt again, so I wanted to put the information on the screen. It's the teespring.com/we-help-critters-revise, kind of a long address, sorry. I'll put that, if someone can retype it in the comments or something, that'd be great, because we kind of got some things going right now, but I'll put it later, and there's the information again. Sorry that it's not easier access for you. And we have a comment from Annie. "You said Belle was hunting better because the rabbits aren't squealing much."
Well, no, she's not hunting better because the rabbits aren't squealing much, but basically, she's big and she's powerful, and sometimes if she grabs a rabbit on the back or something, like the rabbits scream a lot, but if she grabs them on the head, they're dead quiet because she kills them much quicker, and so it's basically her skill level. As her skill increases, she's a more efficient hunter. And the rabbits don't scream nearly as much. Yes, pretty Belle. Well, I would love to get Steve to come back and and do another song for us. Stevie still there?
Not Steve.
I'm sorry,
Casey.
Casey. Casey, I'm sorry, Casey. Casey, got another
Alright, I
song
can
you
go
can
by
play for
Steve.
us?
That's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
I look like a Steve.
You actually do look a little like a Steve. There you
Do
go.
I?
A little bit like a Steve. I know a Steve
Yeah,
looks
the-
similar to you. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put Belle away and let my wife listen to your music, and I'll bring out my golden eagle.
Great. Thank you.
Go ahead and mute it if you would.
Thanks again. Yeah, my name is Casey. And this is a song called My Best Wishes. I wish that I could take your troubles away, bury them in some far off place. And I wish that I could promise it'll be alright, and give you comfort while you lie awake at night. But it's so easy for me to say, and so hard to keep. So hand me that bottle. I'm calling out that genie tonight. She said it's gonna take more than 3. But could you see that she gets all of my best wishes? And I wish that I could just say a prayer and close our eyes and go anywhere. And I wish that I could show you that this was all a dream. I'll play it for you on a movie screen, and you'll laugh at how it feels so real, and everyone was there. So hand me that book. I'm calling out that guy tonight. He said it's gonna take more than your hands and knees. But I'm begging, please, give her all of my best wishes. So I wish that I could take your troubles away and bury them in some far off place, some far off place, some far off place, some far off place.
And Scout is in the house.
Scout is in the house. See if we get this.
And we're having the usual
Scout.
difficulty of Scout and Susan in close proximity.
Yeah, he's my buddy, but I'm the only one he likes, the only human he tolerates and puts up with. And so this is Scout. This is my golden eagle. See how he does. There we go.
And we have a comment from Sam the Man. Welcome, Scout, the YouTube awardee.
He is. He's our YouTube award winner. We reached the 100,000 YouTube subscriber award, and of course Scout is truly the star, and so the award is made out to him and is out and basically is out on the walls of his chamber. So he's our YouTube celebrity here. And let me tell you a little bit about Scout. Like I said, he came out of Wyoming. Again, he was a depredation bird. A farmer felt he was a threat to his livestock, and I was called in by the federal government to go remove him. And so we went up there and we trapped him and brought him back down here. So he was full grown and wild. He was about 2 years old when we got him. And he's been a very, very dear friend. I think we've been together 15 years, 14 years. Anyway, I'd have to look. This is a very normal male golden eagle. Look at these. Yes, you're going to preen. Good boy. Look at these feet, guys. Look at those things. 600 pounds per square inch of crushing power in those feet. He could drive those talons through my glove and crush the bones in my hand. So it's really good. He likes me. My eagle has over 7,000 feathers. Now, all 7,000 feathers are very light. They only weigh about 2.5 pounds, so they're very, very lightweight. The bone structure of birds, the bones are hollow, so its entire skeletal structure only, again, about 2 pounds in weight. Yet there's a portion of my eagle's body that represents half his body weight, and that's the large chest muscles right here, the pectoral muscles, and those are the motors that he uses to drive that beautiful 6-foot wingspan. Show me your wings. That beautiful 6-foot wingspan that allows eagles to fly where hawks and falcons cannot. For eagles have been spotted at altitudes greater than 30,000 feet. And this eagle comfortably soars in a 40-mile-an-hour wind that would ground a hawk or a falcon. And so Scout, because he's a falconry bird, he's able to fly free, go thousands of feet in the sky, fly with the wild eagles, and just like my hawk, he follows me as I flush out rabbits for him to catch. So he gets to fly like an eagle and hunt like an eagle, and still have them available for our school programs and scout programs and community event programs. So he's kind of the star of the show when we travel and do our educational programs.
So we have sort of a twofold question that Michelle reminded me of. The first one is that we should mention that today is your birthday, but somebody else's birthday in exactly 1 week. And she
absolutely.
And also about that person, she says, could Susan build a relationship with Scout?
Well, yes. Susan's birthday is a week after mine, and so her birthday is going to be next Wednesday. So we kind of do our birthday stuff kind of together. And could she build a relationship with Scout? No, not really. Scout really is only bonded to me. In fact, I even worry about taking people out in the field when I take him hunting. He gets very territorial, and he actually has attacked one person. And so, this is not, this is truly an apex predator. This is the line of the sky. And eagles are super, super intelligent, and you never ever want to offend an eagle, because an eagle never forgives and never forgets. And so, like I said, very, very much a friend of mine. He's very sweet. He's very gentle. He can be mischievous and silly and all of that kind of stuff. But this is an animal that can be incredibly dangerous. And so this is not something that even in falconry, the vast majority of licensed falconers in the world are not qualified to work with an eagle. They can be dangerous if not handled properly.
What kind of behavior would a visitor have to exhibit to be attacked by Scout?
Well, the problem I had with Scout is we had a wildlife photographer come out to take some pictures, and this particular photographer was we talked about being a little high strung and a little edgy, and the animals get high strung and edgy. They get nervous around nervous people, and this particular photographer was not good manners around the bird, and really bothered Scout and bumped into him with her camera and knocked things over, and we had issues. There we go, big guy.
Uh-oh. Lost our headphones.
Excuse me, I have to get this thing back on so I can hear.
Okay, we'll
Okay,
wait.
There we go. So anyway, Scout got a little irritated with her. This is a female photographer. Got a little irritated with her and wasn't happy about the situation at all, which I didn't blame him. I was a little irritated with her as well. And so we did the photo shoot. She got her pictures. She left. The next day, I had another photographer come in that wanted to get some pictures of Scout flying. And so we put Scout, we turned him loose. He was soaring up on the ledges, hundreds of feet in the sky, and he wanted to get a picture of the eagle flying down toward him. And so I called for Scout to come down to his toy, his lure, kind of a leather sack that you put food on. And as my eagle was coming in, he saw that photographer see they're taking pictures, and decided that he would much rather grab the photographer by the head. Yes, you did. And so fortunately it was winter time. He had a big heavy coat on. He had a hat on, those kinds of things. And Scout wasn't really trying to kill him. He just wanted the photographer out of his territory. And so he grabbed the photographer, and I was right there, and I was able to get a hold of Scout. The photographer wasn't injured. But he made it very, very clear that the only one allowed in his field when he's hunting is me. And the reason he allows me is because he's the hunter and I'm his dog. And I'm a good dog, so he keeps me. Now, people ask, they fly free. Are you ever worried about him flying away? And the truth of the matter is, no, I don't worry about that, because that is his right. When he goes flying free, we do fly them through the courtship season, which is basically the end of January to February is the courtship season. And if he finds a pretty little lady eagle that's cuter than I am, he will pair bond with her, and he will fly away and never come back. And that is his right. I do not own him. He has the right to leave whenever he wants. But like I said, we've been together, 14, 15 years or so, which is just absolute proof that I'm adorable. So he keeps me.
And we have a donation from Vanny VC. It says, thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you, Vanny. I appreciate it. Like I said, it really does help us feed the critters.
And a comment from Hugh, who says, golden eagles are the supreme hunters.
Golden eagles are truly magnificent. They are, like I said, an apex predator. They use them. Golden eagles, like Scout, are used in Mongolia for hunting foxes and wolves and coyotes, or foxes and wolves, not coyotes. You have coyotes here. Rue deer, very, very large quarry. Now again, they don't necessarily kill the quarry. Basically, they catch it and hang on to it, and the falcon rides up on his horse, jumps off the horse, and gets in there with a knife and actually dispatches the wolf or the fox or whatever the eagle has caught. So as powerful as these talons are, if they grab a wolf, it could be the end of the eagle. If there isn't a falconer there to assist the eagle very quickly.
A comment from Alex, who says 7,000 feathers, a lot of stuff to preen.
A lot of stuff to preen, and they do spend hours. He loves his bath, and as soon as the weather gets just a little toward midday where it's not quite as cold, we fill up his bath pan. The first thing he does, and I mean it can be 5 or 10 degrees outside, and he will jump in that bath, and he splashes around, and he just loves his baths. And then he kind of shakes real good and kind of ruffles himself up to get the water off, and then he spends hours straightening all those beautiful feathers.
Stephanie comments, majestic golden eagle, and hi, Scout.
She said hi to you, Scout. Yeah.
And then we've got a comment from TS, who says, hi, dog. Maybe I think that's you.
That's me. I'm the dog. I know my place on this planet. I am the very, very well trained dog for an eagle. That's my job.
Annie asks, have you seen the documentary of Ed Durden where his golden eagle raised goslings?
I have not seen that. I would not necessarily try that. The truth of the matter is, I know Scout would see the goslings as something to eat, and so he just pooped, so I needed to move him over to make sure he hits the plastic. So yeah, if you put little goslings in with Scout, he would certainly kill and eat them.
And we've had some questions in the comments about the diet of the golden eagle compared to the bald eagle.
Well, yeah, the bald eagle is primarily a fish eater and a scavenger, where the golden eagle is primarily a hunter scavenger. So the golden eagle would know what a fish was, and so he much prefers rabbits and roadkill deer and squirrels and those kinds of things more so than any kind of fish.
Jane says, seeing Scout this close is a big gift to all of us.
Yeah, like I said, it has always been an incredible honor to be able to say that one of my dearest friends is a wild eagle, and to be able to have them close enough you can smell eagle breath. I'm one of very few people that know what eagle breath smells like. It's not as bad as falcon breath. Falcon breath is worse.
So on the flip side, what is the absolute best way that a visitor could behave so that Scout would not mind so much?
Well, as far as coming to one of my programs, we're just fine. Scout does not see that as his hunting territory. The problem is, you want to play with that? Huh? That's just your strap. The problem is when he's hungry and he's in hunting mode, he doesn't want any other predator to steal his food, and he sees humans as a competition, and so he wants them to leave. There you go. I know. We're in the house. And it's getting evening time for Scout, and all of these birds, these are diurnal birds, they're not nocturnal like an owl. And so as it starts getting a little bit later, he wants to let me know it's about time for him to go to bed, because they have terrible, terrible night vision. Oh, big boy.
Should we tell the story about how Scout autographs all the books?
We can. If you order a copy of, you can get these at Barnes & Noble and Amazon and those kinds of places, but if you buy it directly through us, you get an autographed copy, and it's autographed by Scout. That is, I don't know if I can see it there, that is Scout's footprint. And what we did to get that footprint is I took some food coloring and put it on the bottom of his feet and let him walk around on a big piece of paper. And the very, very best footprint that we could get, we took that and we had a rubber stamp made of his footprint. And so if you buy the book directly through our organization, well, first of all the profits go to us instead of Barnes & Noble, so that's a good thing, to feed the animals. And you get the autographed copies. Both Susan autographs the book, I autograph the book, and Scout autographs the book as well. So that's how we raise some money, extra money for our rescue center.
And that footprint is also the same thing we used on the shirt.
Yes, that is on the arm of my shirt right there. That is Scout's footprint.
Okay. Michelle,
not quite full size.
Michelle asks, how many hours do they sleep?
They are really big couch potatoes. If they've had a big meal, it might take them a couple of days to digest, 2 or 3 days to digest a big meal, and they'll just find a nice comfy ledge to sit on, or power tower or something along those lines, and they'll just relax. Now they certainly they are up at sunrise, and because they're diurnal, when the sun goes down they go to sleep, and so again, depending on if it's winter where the nights are longer and the days are shorter, or summer when the days are shorter and the nights are longer, but the point is that they really are only motivated by hunger, and so if they're not hungry, they really just kind of sit around and admire their world, with the exception of when it's hot. If it's hot on the ground, they will go soaring, and they'll go as high as 30,000 feet in order to cool off. And so they'll hunt in the mornings. As it gets a little bit warmer, they'll go soaring up to 30,000 feet, and then stay up there for several hours until it cools off, then come back down.
Bill asks, how much does Scout weigh? And I wonder how many birds you have permanently.
Scout weighs about 8 pounds is his flying weight. His fat weight is closer to about 9+ pounds. And the 3 wildlife ambassadors you saw here today, these are my personal birds that are, 2 of them are my falconry birds, and the falcon is just strictly education because she cannot be used in falconry. And so these are my 3 personal birds. They stay here at my home. The Scout stays outside in a big chamber, both day and night. The hawk and the falcon in the wintertime especially, they come in the house because it's so cold. He likes the cold. That doesn't hurt him a bit, but the Harris hawk especially doesn't like cold. And so he spends the cold nights in the house on a perch.
Sarah asks, is Scout average size for a male golden?
He's a little bit larger than the average male. And so most of the males that I get in, 6-7 pounds. Well, let me give you the whole. From 5 pounds to 9 pounds is what we consider the range for a male golden eagle. A female golden eagle in this part of the country from 9 pounds to about 13 pounds. And so if you have a 9-pound eagle, then it's pretty much a guess whether you've got a male or female. So he's a big male, but not an excessively big male.
We have a comment from Penguin who says, yes, I bought the book too a few days ago. I read it in only 2 days. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the book. It's a fun book, fun stories. If you like animal stories, it starts off with my earliest childhood memories when I was terrified of birds, to the point of being the first person in North America licensed to trap and train a wild eagle in falconry. There's stories in there about my working with elephants and big cats and vulture vomit, and it's just a fun read.
And we have a comment from Hugh. I think back in the day, only the king was allowed to hunt with an eagle. There was a hierarchy of what kind of raptor you could hunt based on your social status.
Oh, absolutely. And to be honest with you, the king couldn't fly an eagle. Basically, the king would, the hierarchy was gyr falcon, which is the largest falcon. The king would have a gyr falcon. A prince may have a peregrine falcon. A wealthy landowner may have something like a goshawk or a one of the desert falcons. Clear on down to the peasant, and the peasant bird was the male kestrel falcon. And so there was very much a hierarchy. You could only have a bird within your social ranking, and you were in tremendous trouble if you had a bird outside of your social ranking. Now, the only ones during the Renaissance period that could fly eagles were emperors and gods. And so I just tell everybody I'm just a little bit closer to God than everybody else because I fly an eagle.
Robert asks, has Scout ever bitten you?
Has Scout ever bitten me? I if he gets frustrated or something, I might get a little tiny nip, but he's never been aggressive to me. Now, I do get bit all the time. That's just, I'm handling a lot of wild birds, a lot of wild eagles and hawks and falcons and owls, and so yeah, I get bit almost every day. That's quite normal. But Scout really has become a very, very dear friend, and so people ask me, I get him so close to my face, doesn't, what if he reaches over and bites my nose? And I said, he just tear it off. And the truth of the matter is, holding my eagle on my glove like this close, if he wanted to rip my nose off, there's nothing in the world I can do to stop him. So if there's nothing you can do about it, don't worry about it.
Well, we've passed our hour mark, so shall we bring our guests back in and wrap up?
Absolutely. Hey, bud. You want to come on in, Sue?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, careful, Scout. Uh-oh, there goes the headphones
There's my
again.
big boy.
Let me grab this.
There we go. We're all here. Like I said, I'm the only one that Scott will put up with. Well, guys, thank you so much. Glenn, it's just a joy to see your family. We wish we can get up to Wyoming, and we want to really bad, and we'll hopefully see you soon. And
That would be wonderful.
Thank
Casey.
you so much. Your music is
yeah,
beautiful.
Casey, we
And good luck with your foundation.
absolutely. Please,
Thank you.
check out Casey's music and his foundation. We are so honored that you share your talents with us. It means the world to us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. There is a link on my website. There's also a link to the foundation as well, so you can check that out. And thanks so much for having me on, and happy birthday to the both of you.
Well, thank you so very, very much. DG, as always, we appreciate you. You're tremendous. And any last questions before we call it a night, everybody?
Love you, Glenn.
Love you too. And happy birthday, Dad.
Thank you, son. Okay, well, I guess, DG, I guess we're done.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, bye, everyone.
I'm gonna stay in case.